New laws are being put in place to stop foreign powers from influencing American elections. No foreign money, no outside interference. But what if the greatest influence was never from outside?
Donald Trump had released an executive order preserving and protecting the integrity of American elections. Now, have any of you actually read this or have any of you heard about this? Probably not, because the only thing everybody is talking about is this weird leak where they added a press person to a secure group chat, Hegseth and wars in Yemen, and that whole thing is fucking weird. I don't believe for a second that it was an accident. Couldn't figure out why until I read this executive order, right? And when you first start reading the order, it really talks about voter fraud. It talks a lot about making sure that people have IDs and nobody that's not an American citizen can vote and how they're going to uphold these laws. Pretty much the entire thing until you get to this part. It talks about banning the ability for foreign nationals and foreign groups to donate to political parties at election time. Federal law prohibits foreign nationals from participating in federal, state, or local elections by making any contributions or expenditures. But foreign nationals and non-governmental organizations have taken advantage of loopholes in the law interpretation, spending millions of dollars through conduit contributions and ballot initiative-related expenditure. Foreign interference in our election process undermines the franchise and the right of an American citizens to govern its own republic. And then it just quickly dips into we need to make sure that there's nobody from the United States that's not voting in elections. It's going to cease federal funds to states that don't comply with these laws as they're written. Then at the end, it kind of follows up and it states the Attorney General and Constitution with Secretary of Treasury shall prioritize enforcement of this and other appropriate laws to prevent foreign nationals from contributing or donating in United States elections. Attorney General shall likewise prioritize enforcement which prohibits lobbying by organizations or entities that have received any federal funds. Now, the way that I read it is that reads any kind of super PAC, foreign super PAC. So AIPAC is probably the closest example that I can come up with. Nobody's talking about it. There's no real articles written on this. There's nobody really talking about it. Pro-Israel people. Nobody's talking about it. Talking about this leak and Hegseth and the war in Yemen. And that whole thing doesn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, how does that happen? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen unless it intentionally was done. Clogging up the news feeds, right? It's everywhere. The Democrats want him fired and the Republicans are like, it's no big deal. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody is talking about this order that, as I read it, and maybe I'm wrong, you can let me know, is going to remove any kind of foreign entities from being able to contribute in our elections. Foreign super PAC. AIPAC is the only one I can think of. It's the largest one that donates to all of our candidates, from your senators to your congressmen to your president. Everyone's talking about how Donald Trump, well, he took a ton of money from AIPAC and he works with AIPAC. And yeah, he did. And maybe he still does. Maybe he did. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But he also donated a bunch of money to the Democrats way back when. And he also donated a bunch of money to Hillary Clinton way back when. And then things changed. Well, let me know your thoughts. Maybe I'm way off base, but that's how I read it. Go read it and then let me know.
AIPAC, one of the most powerful political lobbies in Washington, has poured millions into American politicians, and the question remains, where do their loyalties lie?
Responsibilities in the face of a common danger. The events of recent weeks may have helped to illuminate that challenge for some, but the dimensions of its threat have loomed large on the horizon for many years. Whatever our hopes may be for the future, for reducing this threat or living with it, there is no escaping either the gravity or the totality of its challenge to our survival and to our security. A challenge that confronts us in unaccustomed ways in every sphere of human activity. This deadly challenge imposes upon our society two requirements of direct concern, both to the press and to the President. Two requirements that may seem almost contradictory in tone, but which must be reconciled and fulfilled if we are to meet this national peril. I refer first to the need for far greater public information, and second, to the need for far greater official secrecy. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. But I do ask every publisher, every editor, and every newsman in the nation to re-examine his own standards.